Did you know that parents rank financial literacy as the #1 most difficult life skill to teach? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app for families. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on your kids' spending with real-time notifications. Kids learn to earn, save, and spend wisely. And parents can rest easy knowing their kids are learning about money with guardrails in place. Try Greenlight risk-free today at greenlight.com/getstarted. That's GREENLIGHT.com/getstarted.
Hello and welcome. Citation Needed, podcast where we choose a subject, read a single article about it on Wikipedia, and pretend we're experts. Because this is the internet. That's how it works now. I'm Cecil, and we'll be punting this week, so I introduce the one guy that hates football and the other two that have home football teams as bad or worse than mine, Eli, Heath, and Noah.
Okay, somewhere there's a parallel universe where Dungeons and Dragons is the most popular activity, and you sporties aren't allowed out after
I'd be cool
sundown.
with that one too.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. No. So I should point out there are 16 pairings of human beings in all of Earth that Bears fans can talk shit to, but as a Giants and Jags fan, respectively, Cecil has happened upon one of those 16 pairings. Well played,
4
sir.
more games left. So.
I think the Wolverines could take the Bears on a good week. I'm just saying. That's my hometown team.
And
the Lions. I'm a Lions
fan.
fan.
Lions certainly can. Yeah. Me too. I always have been. Season tickets to
I'm
what?
a huge Vikings fan. No, I'm not. I can't say that.
Listen, I'm not going to MetLife Stadium with Aaron Rodgers getting all the COVID up in there. Absolutely not.
It's true. Yeah.
Let's talk about Bill Belichick for a while. Do you know he has a fucking 24-year-old girlfriend?
You traded up to an older lady.
No,
she just aged. She just aged since the last time I heard about that story. Yeah. Imagine telling your dad you're dating 98-year-old Bill Belichick. I would shoot myself.
Odds are though that your dad is also kind of like, oh, but is he going to come over for dinner?
Right? Yeah, you want to meet Bill Belichick.
Cool.
Also, if he marries her, she's okay for the rest of her life. I'd shoot myself, but I'd be like, honey, you got to do what you got to do. Right? And then just splat.
The good thing is that they're both experts on deflated balls. All right. Well, let's move on. Not joining us tonight is Tom. We had a script written for today, but Tom is out with a very sick wife right now. So we have to shift a little bit this week with a late change. So instead of just one of us writing an essay and the rest of us riffing on it, we decided to take 2 really snarky restaurant reviews from newspapers and read them while offering the normal peanut gallery commentary. We hope you like it, but in reality, this was one of the only ways we could get a show to you this week. I apologize.
Yeah, right. No, we hope you like it, but we know you'll take it. That's a hell of an opening bid, Cecil. But they appreciate the honesty of it, I'm sure.
Exactly. That's actually what it says on Guy Fieri's restaurants. We'll get to it.
Yeah. Okay, but I still don't know why Tom called us doing the fake sick voice you have to do when you call out of work. Like, does anyone know why he did?
Was there a fire burning in the background on that voicemail he left for us? It felt like
there was. That was
like an apocalypse happening.
He's got a lot of kids.
Legit.
That's the general sound of having that many kids.
If you are on a phone call and you have 4 kids, something is on fire when you get off the phone call. Those are just the rules.
So while we're here, we'd like to take a moment to thank our patrons who have heard us do this sort of thing before for patrons. So thanks again, patrons, for being amazing.
You liked it then.
You pretended at least. And if you like what you hear today and you want to hear more things like this, you can become a patron to our show. Stick around and we'll tell you how. And with that out of the way, tell us, Heath, what person, place, thing, concept, phenomenon, or event we'll be talking about today.
We're going to be reading 2 snarky restaurant reviews. One from the Sydney Morning Herald on Coco Roco, and the other from the New York Times on Guy's American Kitchen and Bar. That is Guy Fieri's place in New York.
Let's dive right in.
Okay, so this is Coco Roco by Matthew Evans in the Sydney Morning Herald from 2002.
Worst thing that happened that year.
when dining on the view is the only recommendation. If a restaurant serves good as well as bad food, do you give it the benefit of the doubt?
I eat at Huddle House at 2 a.m., man. You have placed the bar too high.
I wouldn't do that with a 3 chef's hat restaurant. So why should I do it here? Especially when more than half the dishes I've tried are simply unpalatable.
Okay, so far this is just Noah describing every restaurant he's ever eaten at. So
no, just the ones that we've eaten at, Eli. If you go to fucking Huddle House with me, I'll be fine.
That's fair. That's fair.
Coco Roco.
I'm not pregnant.
And you don't smoke. Yeah,
that's right.
Coco Roco is the swank new eatery at King Street Wharf. The opening was touted as Sydney's most glamorous restaurant. If glamour peaked at about 1985, then perhaps they're right.
It did. It did.
Got him.
Though.
Something
with
about
leg warmers.
Something about the polished stainless steel around the open kitchen and the black reflector tiles in the bathroom make me feel I should be wearing a pink shirt and a thin leather tie. Maybe it's just me.
I think you had a different 80s than I did, man.
Actually, all that stuff is back in because Gen Z can't afford to shop anywhere but thrift stores and estate sales. So it makes sense.
Yeah,
makes sense.
So limit.
Yeah. And pink shirt, thin leather, that sounds fun.
Great.
Like,
you should be in that, right?
You know, have good food and wear that. Okay, continuing. What is not disputable is that this place had a $3 million fit out, has views westwards over the water, and scored Sarah O'Hare as its official guest at the opening.
I don't know what any of that is, but it's okay. 20 years ago and it's across the world.
And it's Australian stuff? Okay.
She's the host of Australia's Next Top Model.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay. He continues, it set itself up as a flash restaurant with big end-of-town prices. Its business card even boasts that a new level of dining comes to Sydney's King Street Wharf. I couldn't agree more.
Okay, but when your opening gambit is the host of Australia's Next Top Model, it's not a great sign for your food, right?
No, right. Like, at least get me a fat guy.
Right?
Where's Jack Black eating? Well, that's what I want to know. Where did Jack Black go in this fucking
Way more
town?
relevant. Good point.
Traitor.
Coco Roco is actually 2 restaurants. Coco, the posh place upstairs off Lime Street, and Sibling Roco, also smartly fitted out on the foreshore. Forever in pursuit of excellence, we choose the more expensive option.
Oh, God. It sounds like Eli and Heath making me eat at $100 brunch with a 63-minute wait.
And that coconut pancake foam was exquisite.
And listen, it's the price of eggs went up. Huevos is hard to get now.
Exactly.
It's inflation. It's economy.
That's why we voted for Trump.
Thanks, Biden. Expensive is right, he continued. Mains skid dizzily from a vegetarian dish at just under $30 and crash over the $50 mark. It's a brave restaurateur who tries that without the goods to back it up.
Well, you could just package it with one of those little static covers, really nice box like an iPhone. Totally worth it then.
Yeah.
All right, the most scathing review this person could offer is, this restaurant cooks like I write.
A degustation of oysters, $28 for 6, $40 for 12, arrives as different flavored bivalves rather than oysters from various regions.
Relax.
There's a saffron. I will not relax. I will not calm down. There is a saffron-infused gin one.
If you picture him being dragged ankles first out of the restaurant while he says this review, it makes a lot of sense.
The right thing. That's what almost certainly happened. There's a saffron-infused gin one. There's a seafood foam, which looks like it's been piped on top. The texture is scary, and let's be polite, not to my tastes.
He means like cum, everybody. Hey, whenever anyone in food means let's be polite, they mean this tastes just like cum, and so I'm going to say this instead.
And I enjoy that more. The limoncello, however, is worse. Flavors jangle like a car crash.
Jangle?
Oh, that's a weird choice of the verb. Yes,
okay.
Thank you. All at once, it's sickly sweet, overtly alcoholic, slippery, salty, and bitter.
I feel like that last sentence was on like Heath's Tinder profile.
Yeah.
I'm just, I not to be a pedant here, but slippery isn't a flavor, guys. That's a texture, different thing.
I'm being
I thought
polite
salt,
when
fat, acid, heat was a cool name for my Tinder profile. Cecil made me change it.
Yeah.
Whatever. He continues, only the lone natural oyster is gloriously free from interference, and there's an exquisite verjuice jelly on another. Next up, the carpaccio of beef, $22, comes with a dreary roast almond paste underneath and far too many yellowing rocket leaves on top. The meat itself is fine. It's fine. Although the Parmesan cheese strips taste tired.
Sorry, tired? Did the bread get married too young and now it and its wife have grown apart?
The cheese is suffering from ennui and I will not have it.
I bet he didn't tell his waiter that he thought the Parmesan tasted tired.
Can you give me more energetic Parmesan here?
Yeah, they could throw it in your face.
Can I get an espresso for the Parmesan? Am I right? Am I right? Cartoon people I dined at this meal with. Yes, that's exactly right. We are all wearing monocles.
I truly hate this reviewer so much. I want to go to this restaurant for spite because I hate this reviewer so much.
I think we could all agree the restaurant with the reviewer in it should have been bombed.
Small Queensland scallops, $24 on jagged shells. I hurt myself is implied.
To eat those? I don't know.
Maybe eat better. Don't cut yourself.
I throw my ACL eating your jagged shells.
You're not supposed to eat the shells, man, of the scallops.
They were so jagged, I could barely choke them down.
Jagged shells with cauliflower and vanilla nearly work, but are uninteresting to me.
Oh, uninteresting. Are you guys picturing a scallop that won't stop talking about how, like, we really needed this rain? Jesus.
So the blockchain, hey man, you got fucking jagged shells. Shut up.
Parking around here is ridiculous.
Yeah, I say use a garage, but if it's going to end up being $80, oh my God, I'll eat your shell. I'll eat the shell.
Why anyone would put apricots in a sherry-scented white sauce with a prime rib steak is beyond me.
We live in a society here.
Yeah,
Thank you, Guy, backing me up. A generous chock of meat comes perfectly rested, medium as ordered. But the halves of apricot are rubbery and tasteless, which is probably a good thing. I scrape the whole wretched garnish to one side. The meat has a good length of flavor. Do you measure flavor?
Sure.
Length?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Is that a thing?
Yeah,
Okay.
length of it.
So
Yeah,
that's
like as you're chewing it, you're counting 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000.
All right. Well, it has the meat is good on that and is a damned fine steak, even if it is $52. I can't help but think at this price, I could be dining at Rockpool for God's sake. On a side dish, 3 house-made mustard's milk, Guinness.
Hey, what?
Yeah, I don't know. I read what this person wrote. 3 house-made mustard's milk. I can't tell if milk is a verb or a noun there. Doesn't matter. 3 house-made mustard's milk, Guinness, and lavender prove that some things are better left alone.
Last sentence also on Heath's Tinder profile.
That's true. It goes to a dark
There's
place.
video of him milking that mustard. Yeah.
Got some interesting matches. Everybody's making fun. The other main, roast chicken, $35, is outstandingly dull. Got him. Which is odd considering it's a Glenloth bird that I usually love. A few days later, in the interests of impartiality, I am back. This time, it's a salad to start, $8, sweetly dressed with honey and balsamic vinegar and topped with fine cress. It's not great, but passable, except for a few wilting leaves.
Okay, I'd love to hear about the time anybody had a great salad. No one.
I don't want to hear that.
A poached beef fillet, $46, shows, like last visit, they can cook a steak. This time, it's medium rare, although the meat is curiously dry on the edges, but the accompanying broth is well below average. It is sticky sweet with port, and the overcooked potatoes floating in it do it no favors at all. Oxtail and sweetbread dumplings are a delight, however.
But should have fucking gone to Huddle House. I keep trying to tell him.
It's true. Noah was across from him the entire time he was having this meal. Yeah.
Get him scattered and smothered.
I've never had pork belly that could almost be described as dry.
Almost?
Yeah. Strange. It's a disease, technically. Until tonight, a generous square of pig's paunch, $33. I like the title of that.
Yeah.
Is snuggled into a mass of starchy lentils. The meat is unevenly spiced with Moorish flavor. Now?
Whoa. Yikes.
I hope that's cool in Australia. Not so much here and now, I don't think.
Let's 2000, different time, everyone.
Wow. And the lentils are poor. Texturally, it brings to mind the porcine equal of a parched wheat bix. Okay, that's fucking Australian cereal or something?
Yeah, it's the big cracker. So for those of you wondering, Moorish flavors means it's Middle Eastern and North African food. That said, it would probably be best to update the term from when William Shakespeare meant it as an insult.
Thank you. For dessert, honeycomb cheesecake, $17, has little to recommend it with its soggy pastry base. Compared with the raspberry and Shiraz sorbet, however, it is heaven. A dismal pyramid of sorbet, $15. Jangles, don't use jangles, man. Stop. You're never using it right.
Yeah.
A dismal pyramid of sorbet jangles the mouth like a gamelan concert. That's okay. I looked this up, actually. It's like a traditional, like, I think Japanese toned percussive instrument.
Indonesia, yeah.
Indonesian? Okay. Weird thing.
Yeah. I do think that this review strayed slightly into ranking the races towards the end. That's a little bit of an issue.
No, I looked it up as well. It turns out the etymology, it's Javanese for I'd like to simultaneously sound pretentious and simplistic, please.
Okay. Yeah. That sounds accurate. Okay. Continuing. Poached berries underneath are okay, except for what I guessed might have been soggy blackberries, but I'm not sure.
Gross.
It could be argued that cocoa is still settling in, but apricots in sherry-scented white sauce aren't meant to garnish a ribeye of beef.
He's coming back.
He's got a call. He is furious about sherry-scented white sauce and whether or not it's apropos with
I feel that way when people like abuse their own kids to death, and I read about it. I feel the same way.
The menu is not held back by minor glitches. It is flawed in concept and execution. In a city where harborside dining has improved out of sight in recent years, is a bleak spot on the culinary landscape.
Wow. Starting to sound like a therapy session all of us have attended at one time in our lives. Why don't we take a moment for some apropos of nothing?
Thank God. I hate talking in this guy's voice. Even I don't care if it was Australian. It was pretentious.
Hey, podcast listener. I'm Eli Bosnick.
And I'm Heath Enright. You know, this week's essay really got us thinking. With so many people willing to pay hundreds, if not thousands of dollars for luxury dining, where's the gap in the market for us to fill?
Introducing luxury pooping, the exponential, excremental experience.
Each of our private, aesthetically pleasing luxury pooping spots comes with a top-of-the-line bidet and whisper-quiet mineralized water.
Along with ultra-soft hygiene paper made just for our venues by hand by one lady in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
But that's not all. Enjoy your favorite TikToks on our vertical big screen TVs, your favorite chapters for porcelain reading, or a collection of shampoo bottles with interesting things on the back.
That's right. We know what you like. Luxury pooping, where price doesn't mean shit.
Okay, you guys really want to do that right now?
I would pay $10,000.
Get this. Adults with financial literacy skills have 82% more wealth than those who don't. From swimming lessons to piano classes, us parents invest in so many things to enrich our kids' lives. But are we investing in their future financial success? With Greenlight, you can teach your kids financial literacy skills like earning, saving, and investing. And this investment costs less than that after-school treat. Start prioritizing their financial education and future today with a risk-free trial at greenlight.com/get-started. That's greenlight.com/get-started.
Okay, so the last review was of a restaurant on another continent. Is there something a little closer to home? Perhaps some beloved frosted tipped fire shirt wearing star owns it?
Indeed, there is, Cecil. Indeed, there is. In fact, it's the reason for the episode today. The most destructive piece of restaurant criticism ever written is what we've got for you. I'm talking, of course, about As Not Seen on TV, the review of Guy's American Kitchen and Bar in Times Square by Pete Wells of the New York Times.
I want to point out in advance that I've eaten at one Guy Fieri restaurant and I went on to have a heart attack immediately after. I'm just saying, I bet I could offer something more scathing than this motherfucker over here.
From this podcast.
Yep.
All right. Well, take a listen and decide if that remains true at the end. Here's the review from Pete Wells. It begins. Guy Fieri, that's the last time I'm saying his name like that. It's Fieri. Guy Fieri, have you eaten at your new restaurant in Times Square? Have you pulled up one of the 500 seats at Guy's American Kitchen and Bar and ordered a meal? Did you eat the food? Did it live up to your expectations? Did panic grip your soul as you stared into the whirling hypno wheel of the menu, where adjectives and nouns spin in a crazy vortex? When you saw the burger described as Guy's Pat LaFrida Custom Blend, all natural Creekstone Farm Black Angus beef patty, LTOP or L-top, that's lettuce, tomato, onion, and pickle, SMC, super melty cheese. I hate it.
I hate that so much
damn
too.
It. I've never been to this place. I already hate it. And a slathering of donkey sauce on a garlic buttered brioche. Did your mind touch the void for a minute?
I can say this with no hyperbole. There is no force in the verse that can make me consume something called donkey sauce. I am sorry.
Oh, challenge accepted, Cecil. Challenge accepted.
Did you notice that the menu was an unreliable predictor of what actually came to the table? Were the bourbon butter crunch chips missing from your almond joy cocktail too? God, so kidding. Was your deep fried, quote, boulder of ice cream the size of a standard scoop?
Okay, I hated the food and the portions are too small is a hell of a take, right?
Yeah, I love sitting there just, excuse me, I believe I ordered a boulder's worth. Here is this is just a scoop you seem to have given me.
He continues, what exactly about a small salad with 4 or 5 miniature croutons makes Guy's famous Big Bite Caesar A big, B famous, or C Guy's in any meaningful sense?
I'm picturing on this guy like desperately sucking on romaine so he can claim later that he also didn't bite it, so he has a D, but giving up after the third Heimlich or something. Fuck you.
I love that this entire review is in questions, in just furious questions. He continues, were you struck by how very far from awesome the awesome pretzel chicken tenders are? If you hadn't come up with the recipe yourself, would you ever guess that the shiny tissue of breading that exudes grease onto the plate contains either pretzels or smoked almonds? Did you discern any buttermilk or brine in the white meat, or did you think it tasted like chewy air? Why is one of the few things on your menu that can be eaten without fear or regret a lunch-only sandwich of chopped soy glazed pork with coleslaw and cucumbers called a roasted pork banh mi when it resembles that item about as much as you resemble Emily Dickinson? When you have a second, Mr. Fieri, would you see what happened to the black bean and roasted squash soup we ordered? Hey, did you try that blue drink? The one that glows like nuclear waste? The watermelon margarita?
Wait, what?
Any idea why it tastes like some combination of radiator fluid and formaldehyde?
Because it's blue. Biggest rookie mistake ever. Never drink the blue drink, man. What the fuck?
Correct.
Right.
Unless you prefer your breakups yelled while you're being arrested, then by all means order them. Yeah, exactly.
Also, that should be green. There should be Midori in there. It should be green. I don't know why it would be blue. Whatever.
Bring it up with Mr.
Also,
Fieri.
just don't order watermelon margaritas, period. That's just stupid.
Oh, disagree.
What? I would never even let a person order. They'd be like, they'd come to. I worked at TGI Fridays in Times Square, like a block from this fucking place. People would try to order the dumb shit. It's like, nope. No.
This is why you weren't made for the Fieri lifestyle.
You want fucking donkey sauce? Go to Guy Fieri's. This is a fucking TGI Fridays, motherfucker. We are classy. He continues, this time about a different Guy Fieri location at your 5 Johnny Garlic's restaurants in California. Is that real? He's got a place called Johnny Garlic's, like a chain of it, apparently.
Yeah.
Wow. Mm-hmm. At your 5 Johnny Garlic's, if servers arrive with main courses and find the appetizers haven't been cleared yet, do they try to find space for the new plates next to the dirty ones? Or does that just happen in Times Square, where people are used to crowding?
In Times Square, you're lucky a guy wasn't sleeping on your table when you were seated, man.
Fair enough.
I feel like you read this review out loud into a mirror and Karen appears behind you or something.
If a customer shows up with a reservation at one of your 2 Tex Wasabi outlets and the rest of the party has already been seated, does the host say, why don't you have a look around and see if you can find them and point in the general direction of about 200 seats?
Fuck yeah.
I feel like the other option is to just take you to each party and ask if this is yours. Right? Like, did you guys, is this guy?
Is this one with you?
What?
No. Next one.
What is going on at this new restaurant of yours, really?
Like on a deeper spiritual level, Pete Wells?
Yeah. Like
that what
sexually,
you're asking?
emotionally? Yeah.
Is that what you're asking, Guy Fieri?
He is, though. Has anyone ever told you that your high wattage passion for no-collar American food makes you television's answer to Calvin Trillin? If Mr. Trillin bleached his hair, drove a Camaro, and drank boozy creamsicles. When you cruise around the country for your show, diners, drive-ins, and dives, rasping out slangy odes to the unfancy places where Americans like to get down and greasy, do you really mean it? Or is it all an act? Is that why the kind of cooking you celebrate on television is treated with so little respect at Guy's American Kitchen and Bar?
I'm sorry, wait, are you suggesting that a television personality might be pretending to be otherwise than they really are just because cameras are rolling? I hope you brought some pretty damning evidence to back up that slander, sir.
It's just given free.
I've actually heard Guy Fieri is pretty cool in real life. I've heard he's like
he
just
moderated
a nice guy.
a gay wedding. He gives free pretzel machines to schools.
Okay, but
But
donkey
he has
sauce.
a thing called donkey sauce. I'm already on the hate train.
Coming to your
Sounds
house.
delicious. I bet it's
On its
delicious.
way.
I bet it's awesome.
There's literally no way I'll ever
Chicken
know.
strips are
I will
great.
never know, Noah. I'll never know.
You'll see.
I think it's just supposed to be like garlic aioli. It's fine. It's fine.
You call
you
it
eat
something
around
else
me
and I'll
from
eat it.
now
But the
on.
moment it's called donkey
call it
sauce,
garlic aioli.
you
We
call it
haven't
donkey
heard
sauce,
I'll call it.
I will move out of this state.
How, for example, did Rhode Island's supremely unhealthy and awesomely good fried calamari, dressed with garlic butter and pickled hot peppers, end up in your restaurant as a plate of pale, unsalted squid rings next to a dish of sweet mayonnaise with a distant rumor of
I feel
spice?
like that's a huge spoiler for next week's essay. We should.
The reverse. The people who listen to this in reverse order
You're gonna love that joke.
fucking joke.
Fast forward.
It's a dick
Fast
joke,
forward.
people. That's a. You don't even know it.
How did Louisiana's blackened Cajun spice treatment turn into the ghostly nubs of unblackened, unspiced white meat in your Cajun chicken Alfredo?
Okay. I know we're reading this because Tom is out this week, but are we sure he didn't
not.
write
We're
this
not.
review?
What? I'm pretty sure the fucking review gets to the point 8 words in.
No, it's fair. It's fair.
How did nachos, one of the hardest dishes in the American canon to mess up, turn out so deeply unlovable? Unlovable. Wow. Why augment tortilla chips with fried lasagna noodles that taste like nothing except oil? Why not bury those chips under a properly hot and filling layer of melted cheese and jalapenos instead of dribbling them with thin needles of pepperoni and cold gray clots of ground turkey? By the way, would you let our server know that when we asked for chai, he brought us a cup of hot water?
Okay, first of all, that's fucking hilarious. B, you ordered chai at Guy's American Kitchen and Bar. I'm sorry. Oh, Pete Wells, did the baby you challenged to a fight outside not rise to the occasion either?
When you hung that sign by the entrance that says, "Welcome to Flavortown," were you just messing with our heads?
Boy, this isn't a town at all. It's just a restaurant.
Does this make it sound as if everything at Guy's American Kitchen and Bar is inedible? I didn't say that, did I? Tell me, though, why does your kitchen sabotage even its more appealing main courses with ruinous sides and sauces? Why stifle a pretty good bison meatloaf in a sugary brown glaze with no undertow of acid or spice? Undertow. Wow. I kind of like that, actually. Yeah. Pete Wells. Solid. Why send a serviceable herb-stuffed rotisserie chicken to the table in the company of your insipid rice-a-roni variant?
Okay, if you're too good for rice-a-roni, you're too good for me, man. If you guys need me, I'm going to be at the fucking Huddle House.
Yeah, rice-a-roni's pretty good. Pretty good. It sounds better than
San Francisco treat.
Yeah, great point. Great point. Everybody knows that. Why undermine a big fist of slow-roasted pork shank, which might fly in many downtown restaurants if the General Tso-style sauce were a notch less sweet, with randomly shaped scraps of carrot that combine a tough, nearly raw crunch with the deadened, overcooked taste of school cafeteria vegetables? Is this how you roll in Flavortown?
Hey, guys, I try not to talk about my mental health too much on air, but in case you're wondering what my inner monologue is like, I just talk to me the way Pete Wells talks to Guy Fieri, in case you're wondering why I did it.
Do you pronounce your name in some weird, like, over accent to be pretentious?
Yeah, that's how I get
How do you say Eli Bosnick in your head?
Eli Bosnick.
Yeah, I figured. Okay, got it. Somewhere within the yawning 3-level interior of Guy's American Kitchen and Bar, is there a long refrigerated tunnel that servers have to pass through to make sure that the French fries, already limp and oil-sogged, are also served cold?
Oh, dude, if Guy had a secret refrigerated tunnel, you'd be hanging in it by now, Pete.
Yeah. I like the idea of people just entering the main floor with the food, but it's like steam coming out everywhere. It's like the beginning of the Super Bowl when the team runs out or something like that. I kind of like that. What accounts for the vast difference between the donkey sauce recipe you've published and the donkey sauce in your restaurant? Why is the hearty, rustic appeal of roasted garlic mayonnaise been replaced by something that tastes like Miracle Whip with minced raw garlic? And when we hear the words donkey sauce, which part of the donkey are we supposed to think about?
It's the part you milk. Come on now. It's not that hard.
Yeah,
you just use your imagination.
We'd already agreed it was the milking
It's
part.
headed to Cecil's house right now.
I'm going to fly to your house and make you drink it all.
I'll drink all of it. Bet taken, Sea-Dog. Punish me with a good time.
Just doing shooter after shooter of fucking donkey sauce.
I'll drink a whole bottle of donkey sauce in front of you, and it won't be the third worst thing about my week.
Is the entire restaurant a very expensive piece of conceptual art? Is the shapeless, structureless baked Alaska that droops and slumps and collapses while you eat it, or don't eat it, supposed to be a representation in sugar and eggs of the experience of going insane?
Amazing.
Or ED, perhaps. Why did the toasted marshmallow taste like fish? Did you finish that blue drink? Oh, and we never got our Vegas fries. Would you mind telling the kitchen that we don't need them? Thanks.
Okay. If you had to summarize what you learned in one sentence, Heath, what would it be?
Okay, never go to Times Square unless it's a Broadway show. Why are you going to Times Square?
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
That's your fault.
Are you ready for the quiz?
Let's do it.
All right, Heath. How did Guy Fieri respond to Pete Wells's review? A, by killing himself and leaving that review as the note. Or B, by telling the Today Show, quote, I've been in the restaurant industry for 25 years. This is an ever-changing, evolving process. Do we do it perfect? No. Are we striving to do it perfect? Yes.
Come on. All right. Yeah, he's developing a vaccine. It'll be fine. It's got to be B. It sounds like exactly
B.
what he would have said.
It is B.
I feel like we'd have heard about A. All right.
Maybe.
It would have made this whole thing pretty fucking awkward, right? Yeah.
Woo.
All right. I have a question for you, Heath. What complaint has never been uttered about a meal at the Huddle House? A, the banh mi was inauthentic. B, the hints of smoked almond in the chicken tenders were understated. C, the sorbet somehow embodies a metallic ringing sound in your mouth. Jangles? What does that mean to
jangles,
you?
bro.
Jangles.
Or D, I made it all the way home without taking a shit.
Okay. As soon as you started asking the question, I was like, it's all the above. It's all the above. No complaint has ever been uttered at a Huddle House. You just
There you
get
go.
what you
Exactly.
get.
Exactly. That
You
is
shut the
correct.
fuck
It is
up,
E secret
And you're
answer
full
E.
and you're fine.
All right, Heath.
Don't go to Times
Well,
Square.
you're not
You're not
fine.
fine. You're not going to be
You're
fine
not
for a
fine.
while either. It's going to be a few
Fine.
days for sure.
Your wife died
Yeah.
pretty young.
Fine is relative.
All right, Heath. We learned about an unappetizing mayonnaise-based sauce served at Flavortown. But what is the whitest sauce? A, cracker dressing. B, white supreme sauce. C, honky sauce. Or D, white flight.
Okay. White flight. I was about to say it's clearly ranch. It's fucking ranch. Everybody gets ranch on anything is garbage. But it's D, white flight.
You are correct. And I'm not sure who the winner is. I think it's all of us. I think the winner is all
We
of us.
all win.
All right. Eli, we all won. Why don't you decide who's next?
I want.
No,
Me?
it's you. Or us. Both. No, it's
Tom.
Tom. But we have to
I want
skip him.
Tom's wife to still be sick next week. Jesus Christ. And I have a feeling I'm gonna get a wish. We record 2 episodes at a
Jesus.
time. I am not wishing
Jesus
ill
Christ.
for it's me.
All right.
I'll be reading
Well, for
something
Noah,
Tom wrote.
Eli, Heath, and an absent Tom.
Monday, December 16th,
Cecil,
8:15
thanking you for
PM.
hanging out with us today.
Eli agrees with
We'll
vigilante
be back
murder.
next week, and by then, Eli
That's
will be
true.
an expert on something Tom
Pardon me
wrote.
with a good time.
Between now and then, you can listen to the latest Skeptocrat with a different 3 of us out of 5 of us.
I love that Cecil's just muting us, so it doesn't matter. What
And
happens
if you'd
right
like to
now.
help keep this show going, you can make a per episode donation at patreon.com/citationpod, or you can leave us a 5-star review anywhere you can. If you'd like to get in touch with us, check out past episodes, connect with us on social media, or check the show notes. Be sure to check out citationpod.com.
And how was your experience today, sir?
Fantastic. Absolutely wonderful.
And would you like us to thank you loudly for the private conversation we just had in front of everyone in the room you just left so that nobody knows you were pooping?
Oh, yes, please. Thank you.
Right this way, sir.
$20,000.
This message comes from Greenlight. Ready to start talking to your kids about financial literacy? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app that teaches kids and teens how to earn, save, spend wisely, and invest with your guardrails in place. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on your kids' spending with real-time notifications. Join millions of parents and kids building healthy financial habits together on Greenlight. Get started risk-free at greenlight.com/getstarted. That's GREENLIGHT.com/getstarted.